Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today with another Racial Legends Champion Guide. Today we have Seeker, the Undead Horde Epic Champion, Magic Affinity. This dude is amazing. Today I'll tell you all about why on this updated Seeker Guide. For the arena, for clan boss, and just generally speaking, where is this champion good and how can you use him? Why is he so special? Alright, first, a few shout outs to you guys. Keep in mind I get all my champion request ideas from you guys in the comments, so go ahead and let me know who you want to see next on the channel. Just make sure you search and make sure that we haven't done the champion because we're creeping up on 200 guides in about 6 months here on the channel. Not too shabby. All right, shout out to Victor looking for a Seeker guide. We got Af Bear looking for a Seeker guide along with Roman Frost King looking to Steadfast. Tagore, I think we have Tagore out there. Radio Lopez looking for a Seeker guide. We have Joep Goosen looking for a Seeker guide. Sorry for butchering your name just as bad as I do the champions. We have a Bogglegop looking for some love to Seeker. Cassandra looking for some Seeker. A lot of Seeker requests, as you guys can see here. Keep the requests coming, guys. A lot of the same faces looking for some Seekers, so you guys ought to be happy today. Even Boggles, like, why did the chicken cross the road? To see a guide on Seeker or Brogny. Okay, I hear you guys. I hear you. Let's get into it, man. Well, before we show you the good stuff, let's talk about what this dude does, right? I'm going to show you him also on my mini account where I use him in the arena. One of my favorite speed boosters in the arena. He can go on a go first team, a go second team. But before we get to all that, Ash, stick to the kit, dude. He looks like, well, a big bat. He's Seeker after all, right? Undead Horde, an undead bat at that. Pretty cool aesthetics on this champion. He takes up like a bit of the screen, as you guys can see. He's kind of going wacko behind me there. Really kind of cool aesthetics on this champion. He looks a lot like his brother, I consider, Doomscreech, right? Who also has a similar boost. Doomscreech's not as cool looking, like without the armor almost, right? But he also has a 30% turn meter boost, just no extra turn, and more on that in just a moment. But back to the kit. On his A1, he has a Provoke, a really decent Provoke, right? It is a 50% chance when booked. It's nice because you essentially get this baked into your first turn with this champion because of the A2. Whoa, choke up when I'm talking about Seeker here. Tailwind, 3-turn cooldown. The books go right to the cooldown. You gotta love it, albeit, 8 levels on the A1 kind of sucks, right? But this champion's definitely worth booking. I would say he's one of the most essential epics to book because of this Tailwind ability. Fills a turn meter of all allies by 30% with the increased attack for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn. So what are we doing here? Why is this ability so unbelievably essential to unkillable teams, to anywhere that you want your team to go incredibly fast, either in a fast burst in an arena situation or in any sort of PvE content? Well, you savvy longtime viewers, you know the answer already. It's two-pronged, right? It's number one is a 30% turn meter boost is incredible. It's very, very, very strong on a 3-turn cooldown. But that extra turn really allows him to be one of the best turn meter boosters in the game, if not the best, because essentially it puts it in the eyes of everybody else on your team. It puts it on a 2-turn cooldown. We have a 30% turn meter boost on all allies on a 2-turn cooldown because of the extra turn, ergo reducing the cooldown of the skill Tailwind, right? So it's really, really powerful. Not to mention the increased attack big version is the perfect arena setup move, along with the turn meter boost, a la like an Arbiter, right? On the passive, Dark Blood, this makes him viable on go second teams as well. It's overall very helpful. There is a big caveat, though, which we'll get to in a moment when we talk about him in the arena. Heals his champ by 20% of HP, places an increased defense buff on all allies when hit with a critical hit. Now, this is on a 5-turn cooldown, but it's a big version of increased defense, and it's on his passive. So the beauty of this is, on a go second team, all he has to do is get hit by an AoE Trunda or whoever, Genbo, right? And then, boom, your entire team has a big version of increased defense, and if you position him correctly, they will have that ability before they are hit which is, again, essential to getting the full value out of Dark Blood on the passive. More on that in a moment. Arena defense defense in arena battles by 30% as well, so he can be an arena lead on a go second team, on a slower defense team with a champion like maybe like a Vogoth, a Magnar, a team like that. I'm talking about epic champions that would be good complements to him on a go second team. There's other abilities that are kind of reminiscent of this passive in the game, right? There's a Kyoku. Why am I going to Sylvan Watchers? I have no idea. But good old Kyoku has, check it out, every time this champion is hit with a critical hit, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP and then places an increased defense a buff on all allies for 2 turns, okay? So very similar. And the rule is on Kyoku and Seeker, right? And any other champion that has an ability like this, we want to make sure they're in either the first or the second position. This is from a Yumi Love. I just found it on a Google search, but I just wanted to find somewhere that had first, second, third, fourth positions on an arena team, right? Same rule really applies to a lesser extent in PvE. Why? Because let's put it this way. When an AoE attack comes into your team, and an AoE nuker goes, what you want to make sure happens is that Seeker's passive triggers. It doesn't hit everybody at the same time. Those AoE attacks, it looks like they hit everybody at the same time, but what they really do is they hit this champion first, then this champion, then this champion, this champion. In a split second, it looks like everybody takes the damage all at the same time. But if we have Seeker in the first position or second position, if you want to use a speed aura, that will trigger his passive, and then before the nuke hits, the third position, the fourth position in this case, well, that increased defense is going to be protecting those champions, okay? That's why position really matters with Seeker. We want him to be positioned in the first or second spot, depending on which aura you need. Before we talk about Arena, probably the most common place that you'll see Seeker run is in clan boss compositions, okay? Now, if we're building him for the Arena versus clan boss, quite a different build on this champion. You can naturally try to find a happy medium. We'll talk about stat priorities. Let's just go ahead and pull them up to see how we have them built here. This is my clan boss Seeker. So you can see, I don't think I've ever done this on the channel before, but only one artifact set, a 2-piece on him, and that's it. Why? Because on a champion like this, on a build like this, I only care about damage to a certain extent, right? It's an easy 1 key for Ultra Nightmare, the team that I'm using, which I will show you guys as well in case you happen to have those champions. But I would refer you all to deadwoodjedi.com. That's deadwoodjedi.com. Here's the URL. You can see it right up here. There we go. So you need to bookmark this this site, guys. It will have all the speed tune lists. Deadwood Jedi, you can check out his YouTube channel too. He has a lot of clan boss content, right? And what you want to do here is come down to the speed tune list and then just go find the champion that you want to build a team around. So, of course, Seeker is going to be one of those. You can see him over to the right-hand side. We click Seeker, and then boom, every single Seeker comp is available, okay? So I'm going to go on Cat Eater, right? I love the names on these. They'll tell you the difficulty. They'll tell you how many keys it will take to finish, Ultra Nightmare, and then it will tell you if it's good for all affinities or not, which is really important. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to build a clan boss team unless I'm just starting out in the game. But the biggest things I look for are these 2 categories, right? I can deal with the 2. I can't actually deal with the 2 key anymore, right? I'll deal with the 2 key until I don't have to, because I really want that quick battle. I really want a 1 key if I can. If you don't have the gear yet, you just started out or whatever, that's totally understandable too. But I do want all affinities, right? Those are the things that I look for personally. But you're going to come down here, right? And they're going to tell you exactly everything that you need, right? So we have a Man-Eater, a Seeker, 2 DPS slots, a Helicath, and then it goes ahead and it shows you all of the speeds that I need for this team. It's going to give me the entire team setup. It's going to give notes. It's going to give you disclaimers, based on, hey, if something isn't working, this is why, blah, blah, blah. So any Seeker team that you want to make, given the champions that you have on your account, again, strongly encourage you guys, check out deadwoodjedi.com. That's where I get all my clan boss comps, literally right from that website. So with that being said, the team that I have built, I needed a slow Seeker, a 179 speed tune. Your speed tune is going to be different than mine unless you're making the exact same team. So these stats, I want to say the speed at least HP, and defense are all absolutely irrelevant, along with accuracy, meaning that all I care about, and all you should care about, for an unkillable Bat Eater, Batman, or Seeker comp, right, is all we care about is getting his speed to where it needs to be, and then crit rate, crit damage. That's it. I mean, he's not going to die. It's an unkillable team. So that's all we care about. So for Clan Boss specific, and you see him using unkillable teams, right? So for Clan Boss unkillable teams, which is where most of you are probably going to be using Seeker even in the end game forever on your account. You don't need to change these teams, right? All you care about really is the damage once you get that speed. It's pretty easy to build a champion. So what I did was I just kind of took gear that from kind of bizarre sets, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't use I use Bolster. I don't use a lot of offense sets, right? I don't use a lot of Frenzy on my account. I certainly don't use a lot of Frost gear. But I had decent, gear kind of sitting around. It's not even that decent, frankly. It was kind of work to get him to be this slow. I had to go find gear that had not a lot of speed, but a little bit of speed on it, right? So anyway, I went with attack percentage on the chest. I do, as you can see, I need 3 more crit rate. That does matter, especially when you're vying for that first, a 1-key Ultra Nightmare or whatever difficulty you're on so you can quick battle it. But I guess I'm trying to say, guys, is, yeah, Cruelty works really good on him, right? But so does almost everything. He's an attack-based champion, and his A1 can actually smack pretty hard, provided you can build him with enough damage, okay? For blessings on this champion, well, let me just go through the artifacts really quickly here, but it's all min-maxing his damage. So it's going to be attack, it's going to be crit damage, it's going to be attack. Well, it's defense, but we had a trip roll of attack down there, so, but min-maxing your attack by any means necessary is the way to go on your accessories. And then on the boots, I have speed, but frankly, with a 179 speed, I could probably get away if I needed the extra damage, which I don't, but if I did, I could probably easily get away with attack percentage and just find the speed elsewhere, even on the boots. I digress. We have that nice triple crit rate that roll, which is nice. Then we have the attack percentage on the chest. We have the crit damage on the gauntlets. As I mentioned earlier, for the arena, we're going to be building him much differently, so stay tuned on the mini account. So these are the masteries that I prefer for my Clan Boss champions on the Unkillable comp. We have no real reason to go support tree for the most part. We're going to go down defense instead. We're going to come down to Retribution. Retribution being one of the most essential over the course of a longer battle, like Clan Boss, right? One of the most essential masteries, so we can counterattack and get more damage from the A1 and from, of course, War Master, which is our tier 6 mastery on our Seeker. I will show you actually, I don't have masteries on him because they're not like that essential, I will say. They're helpful for the arena, but they're not essential for the arena. So you can get by not even going masteries if you don't want to, but you do have to book them. Anyway, guys, on terms of blessings, I was talking about this earlier. I went with Phantom Touch. If you really want to min-max his damage anywhere, like Clan Boss, you should go with Phantom Touch, the rare blessing. I will say, though, we do want one champion on our team with Cruelty, okay? That's going to decrease target defense by 1%, up to 10% for bosses. This is really valuable, and you'll notice extra damage as long as you have one champion on your team with this. You don't need 2 or 3 or 4, because obviously it's going to cap out at 10% anyway. So he's a great Cruelty, option if you don't have another champion on the squad already. Otherwise, go with Phantom Touch. Let me go ahead and show you that Clan Boss team really quickly here. All right, guys, so going for Clan Boss, I actually use my keys, but I don't know how I got extras. But either way, here's my team. Let me show, it works, the beauty of this team, guys, it works on Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, and Brutal. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because odds are you guys don't have all the champions necessary or whatever, but it's fairly easy to make, especially with these relatively slow speeds on some champions, not all, right? So we have Fushan in the lead. He's at 192 speed, not using his A2. We have Demitha going 1 priority, 2 priority in the A3, A2 respectively at 292, the fastest champion on the team. We have Eris going in with priority on her A2 at 261 speed, the second fastest champion on the team. She's in a toxic set. We have Jintoro at 154 speed, Good God, that's slow. That's a challenge to get him that slow, right? And then Seeker, we have, again, opening with his A1 Devour at a 179 speed, which you guys already know about. So as I mentioned, I've used this team. I'll show you just really quickly here. I've used this team already today. It was a 1 key at just shy of 1 million, or 100 million, excuse me. 1 million would be pretty bad. 100 million damage on Ultra Nightmare. On Nightmare, we pulled around the same sort of damage. The nice thing is, though, is we don't have to do 111 million. We don't have to do anything to the team. Everything's the same. The setup's the same. The speeds are the same on every single difficulty. So we have 2 keys. Let's just use one quick battle on Brutal. Might as well, right? Ooh, quick battles are nice, right? Nice and fast. 137 million. Look at Seeker's damage. Not bad, right? I mean, he's half of our DPS. Fushan, a little bit less, obviously, than half of Jintoro. Eris, as I mentioned, 21 million, but all that's coming from War Master and is coming from her counterattacks with a Toxic set on, okay? But Seeker, that's some nice damage, you know? Obviously, it's not going to be that much depending when we scale up the difficulty, but that proportion is still going to be roughly the same in terms of what he can bring to the table. So certainly can be a viable DPS option for you guys on top of being that essential turn meter booster for Clan Boss. Let me go ahead and switch over, guys, to my mini account. I'll show you him in the arena. All right, guys, we're on the Vexthal, my mini account here, and as I mentioned, Seeker's the star of my arena team, right? So I'm just chilling here, farming Great Hall, so, you know, the caliber opponent is not going to be anything special. It's not about that, right? It's about fast results. So Seeker is only at level 50 on this account, and that's the beauty. Honestly, I mean, obviously he's going to be a bit better at level 60, but you don't really need him to be, at least at this point in my account. It's all about fast results, as I said. So again, we're coming in here, level 50 Seeker. We put him in basically all our best speed gear that we can stand to muster. Not my best on the account, but, you know, the third best on my account or whatever it is. So essentially his job is to turn meter boost, and that's it on a go first team. But it's beautiful because I don't have Arbiter, and he's coming in there with that 2-turn 30% turn meter boost, allowing all the rest of the champions on my team to be a lot faster and granting a lot more damage to the other champions on my team because of that increased attack, right? So again, he's going to go first. The beautiful thing too is he comes right in with that A1 ability, landing that provoke. Now he didn't land it there on Ultimate Death Knight, but the idea here is he does. You build him with a little bit of accuracy, and more often than not, you're not only boosting everybody in the arena, you're not only, you know, look at this. We have increased defense. Guess who put that on? Seeker, by getting hit with a critical hit. He's even on a non-go second team, he's still helping out with that passive. You know, it probably kept the team alive here. Everybody's very squishy. And then, as I mentioned, we come in with the turn meter boost, we give the increased attack, we come in, we take an extra turn, and we go in with that provoke on the A1, hopefully, taking out the opponent's nuker. You know what teams don't do? They don't build nukers with a lot of resistance usually, right? So instead of going for, you know, you can go for obviously their turn meter booster as well, but you can make that strategic decision depending on the team that you're facing. I just would never want to go into a Force Affinity champion, right? So here, you know, who do I even care about? I don't know. This is a very bizarre team, huh, guys? Gee whiz. I guess I'll go with Dark Aethel or whatever. And of course, we didn't land it, but we didn't get a resist there either. Keep in mind, it's only 50% chance, right? So, but anyway, that's why Seeker's just one of the absolute GOATs in the arena. And again, level 50, man. No worries. No worries. Just need him fast to get the job done. Everything else is going to come. So let me go ahead and show you how I have him built here. Again, this is, whoa, summer return gift. Don't mind if I do. Go to the old shop, claim this. I love it, man. I don't log in for a couple weeks on this account, and I just get a bunch of stuff. All the time. If you take a little break from the game, they're always going to give you free stuff. That's what I've learned about this through my second account. Anyway, I actually have logged in though, because you can see I already have 10,000 points in the clan versus clan, so maybe I just didn't play long enough for them to give me that. Either way, I digress. Let me show you Seeker. So, Mr. Seeker. Again, level 50, not even fully ascended. I don't even have his amulet nor his banner. But all I have is speed gear on him, really. That's it. This is the most basic of basic ever. but this is a good early to mid game, mostly early, right? But I would say that mid game can use as sort of a strategy too, because you don't need anything else, really. Obviously, yeah, the more survivability, the better, because if you don't kill everybody right away, staying alive is a good thing, right? So I'm not sitting here telling you that you don't need to do anything, but I didn't really do much of anything. I did book him out. That's the only important thing on this champion. So book him out. Masteries, as I said, didn't go with anything. Let me go ahead and give a quick nod to hellhades.com, where you guys can see they give him an overall rating of 4. It's hard to say that he's a 4. I would give him a 5, not because I'm just trying to suck up to every champion that I do a guide on. I've been negative quite a bit over the last week, to the dismay of some of you guys in the comments. But he's such an essential clan boss champion, right? And he's good in enough other areas. Like we didn't talk about progression. He's good in dungeon progression as well, right? That increased defense, that turn meter boost, that increased attack. It really does matter. It's a great kit. But just how essential and good he is in Clan Boss is really, really special. Magma Dragon also a 5 out of 5 for that provoke on his A1 and the turn meter boost. His multiplier is a 2.2 strong rating on that A1, as we mentioned. I was going to see what they give him as a speed lead. They advise to go this direction, Masteries, as a speed lead. So they want you to go with Timely Intervention as a tier 6 mastery. I don't mind going down. I don't mind that at all, because going support, especially in the arena, makes a lot of sense. Because in the arena, we do want that accuracy, right? We do want him to have enough accuracy to land that provoke when we can, when the 50-50 works out in our favor, and neutralize their nuker or whoever, right? So I would go Pinpoint, I would go Charge Focus, I would go Swarm Smiter, I would go Lore of Steel, I would go Triple Speed, or Triple Perception, or a mix of one or the other, for the arena. And then I can totally see coming with Spirit Haste and going right down to Timely Intervention. I think that's a great build for this champion. And then on defense, we can do exactly what they recommended and come down with Retribution as well. Retribution's great on this champion, so is Deterrence, because of those provokes on that A1. A little bit of control kind of, built into the rest of the battle as well, vis-a-vis those counterattacks. So I really like that build. Here, I'll flash it on the screen again. Shout out to hellhades.com, where you can go ahead and see, of course, any champion guide, right, out there, and they have the masteries and everything else. So guys, that's going to do it for a guide on Seeker. I love this champion. We didn't show you everywhere he can be used in the game, obviously, but suffice it to say, I think we at least touched on them in today's video. Keep the champion guide requests coming, guys. Send in some positive vibes, some love your way, especially if you need it today. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.